for our upcoming launch. And yeah, it's been kind of months to get to this point for launch, so we're like really excited to get this out in front of people, and I think you guys are gonna love the video. So um, well, I guess we can probably start with that, and then go into more logistical stuff about the end of quarter wrap ups and um, roundtable updates with all of our projects. So cool. We're at the top of the hour, so I guess we can get started. Um, I hope Ryan doesn't mind that I'm sharing his video. Ryan made this, and it's just incredible. Um, so let's see here. You guys can see my screen. All right. I'll just introduce it briefly. So um, we were aiming to put together a video that kind of encapsulates the um, the spirit of like innovation and acceleration in space. This doesn't really explain much about the network itself, but it's just trying to set a tone for what we're trying to create. And I think Ryan's done an incredible job in um, setting that tone. So we've been kind of polishing this video now over the past week or so, and it's really come together. So we're excited to share this, and then this is something we're going to be sharing on socials. This is the first time we've ever uh, publicly shown anyone this video, and we'll be posting it on socials soon later this week in anticipation of our big launch. So cool. Without any further ado, hopefully the audio and everything works on this. So I'll play the video. Dang, sounds like the audio isn't working. Let me all right, let me tinker with this. I might have to change some audio settings. Hmm. Shoot. Okay. Well, all right. I guess maybe Ryan or Mitch, if you guys want to try to play it and get the audio working. I'm looking here. I'm not sure if I can get the audio running. That's too bad. Yeah. Maybe Ryan, do you want to try sharing your screen and see if this works?
Sure. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick.
Okay. False start.
Yeah. Anticlimactic.
Anticlimactic. Yeah.
Where is it? Hang on. Let's see. Hang on.
All right. Well, Ryan's putting it together. Yeah, so I don't know if everyone here knows about the network that we're putting together. It's called the Space Acceleration Network. So we're expanding MoonDAO. MoonDAO is one node within this broader network that we're creating, and yeah, we've been building this for a while. So, all right, let's see if this works. All right, Ryan, do you wanna? There we go. I can hear it.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone.
That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives by this point of pale light.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Rocket Tranquility, we copy you on the ground. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark.
Earth is the cradle of humanity. You cannot stay in the cradle forever.
Yeah, it's super exciting to finally get this out in front of people. So as you saw there, our launch date is pending October 6th. We'll see if we match that. We're putting our feet to the fire a bit. We're very close now to get this fully out. We've been working on all the launch materials, including that video. Yeah, I mean, the core thesis of what we're building is that within the next decade, we have a steadfast conviction that the network will allocate more capital towards space exploration than all governments combined. So if you look at NASA's budget of this year in 2024, it was $24 billion. And you look at the entire market cap of some of these cryptocurrencies and the relative growth, if current trends continue with just 1% allocation of crypto network capital towards space exploration, you'd already surpass NASA. And that's today. So that's given no more growth of the crypto network. It's just by today's figures, if we were to achieve that level of allocation, it would already surpass NASA. So, and it's not without precedent. So, during the Apollo era, we were dedicating about 2.5% of U.S. GDP towards space exploration, and right now we're at 0.1% of U.S. GDP is NASA's budget. So, we need to get more funding towards these space missions if we want to accelerate. And we believe that the network is going to be the #1 funder of space missions. And furthermore, any company that is well positioned to take advantage of this growth of the network, they'll stand at a huge competitive advantage because they have a lot more access to capital. So what we've been building is basically tools to enable existing space companies to onboard into this network. So, it's been something we've been pouring our hearts and souls into, and we think it's something that the space community really needs right now is credibly neutral mediums for companies to collaborate with one another and work together towards accelerating a sustained human presence off-world. So, yeah, we're very, very excited. And this video, I think, really captures that sentiment. So, hats off to Ryan. He, really did an amazing job there. So, yeah, exciting announcement, and you guys are the people here. You guys are the first to see it, and we'll be posting more of this stuff publicly in the next few days. So, yeah, cool. I'll pass it over to you, Mitchie. We'll resume regular town hall logistics. Mitchie's got some big updates about the end of the quarter, and then we'll be updating on all of our projects here. So yeah, take it away, Mitchie.
Cool. Thanks, Pablo. So yeah, not huge updates really, but just really more of a reminder. The end of quarter submission deadline for projects is on the 8th. And I basically just wanted to do a shout out to a few members in the audience. Phil here. We've got Eliza and Justin as well. We got Phil, Justin, and Eliza are in the circle now. We got to get Phil in there though too. He did an interview with Eliza and a lot of outreach work. I think that he should be credited for as well. But just a reminder that coordinate that community circle ends on the 16th of October. This time around, there's a little bit of a buffer at the end of the quarter. I feel like it's going to work a bit better this way. And so yeah, just a reminder. Shout out to anyone out there to submit to the circle, and we'll be giving out 10% of the rewards in the cycle to everyone participating in that circle. So yeah, that's basically the only update there. I don't think we have any projects this week to cover, any new projects, but we can jump into our roundtable. And so first on the list here, as always, is the second astronaut support project.
Hello, how's everyone doing today? This is Eiman. We continue forward and remain busy. This week I spoke to the law school space club at Vanderbilt. And it was actually pretty incredible. They had gotten a gentleman, I was there in person, but there was a gentleman, David Anderman, who's there via Zoom. And there's no reason you'd necessarily know who he is, but he was the general counsel and then COO for Skywalker Films. And he's the one who actually did the deal between Disney and Skywalker Films to get all of that stuff to Disney, which is pretty wild. And then he was also the general counsel for SpaceX up until a year ago. So he did all the contracting, FAA regulation stuff. He watched the first, crewed launch, Starship launch. So pretty incredible guy to be on a panel with. So that was pretty cool. I also spoke at a conference or a festival called the Anangoka Festival, which was in northern Canada, about 8 hours north of Toronto. I spoke virtually. That was an indigenous group, like an indigenous peoples that someone organizes this STEM conference for them and have different people from like the space industry speak to them. So that was pretty rewarding. There were kids from K through 8. Sunday, I'm speaking at the NASA Space Apps Challenge in Mountain View. I'm doing that virtually, and that'll be another thing we do. And then I'm also doing a interview with a local news station live on Sunday, News Channel 2. You may have noticed this week that iHeartRadio released my interview with Rick Tumlinson. So that came out this week. And I don't remember if the space.com interview came out last Sunday or was that the week before, but it's also out there. So still active. I have a bunch of stuff planned coming up in the next 3 months. I think something like, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 14 different events right now. I got off the phone right now with Future of Space people, which are going to do a podcast next Friday or a week from Friday. So like 2 weeks from now. So still being active, still out there promoting what we do, and speaking highly of MoonDAO and the Internet Space Agency.
Well, thanks, Iman. It's you've got quite a lot, still doing big tours. That's crazy.
Strike while the iron's hot, right?
Yeah.
In 6 months, no one may care. So we'll go ahead and do what we can now. And I will be at New Worlds November 1st, so I'm excited to see some of you there in person. And I know Pablo, I'm speaking Friday on the overview panel with Frank White and Mike, it's an astronaut, and Mike Fortman, I think. And then Pablo's got 2 talks on Saturday.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm excited for the Space Cowboy Ball too. That should be fun. Okay, well, I guess we can go next on the agenda here, which should be updates on New World. So I'll pass it over to Ryan.
Yeah, I've been mostly focused on the launch of the network here, but have done a little bit of follow-up with those folks. We're getting funding sent over to them. That's in the multi-sig right now. So hopefully by next week, we'll be able to execute on that and make it all official. Just trying to coordinate some logistics here, as Eiman mentioned, around some of the talks that we're doing on Pablo, and expect to do some workshops on the ground and some other events there. In terms of, like, if you're part of the community and are interested in attending, please do reach out. We have 6 seats, and we'll be prioritizing people there for those seats based on well, citizenship in the network and by MOONEY holdings. So yeah, just reach out. Justin, I know I got to get back to you, but anybody else, also feel free to reach out. And yeah, that's about it.
Cool, good stuff. Also on the agenda here is the MOONEY distribution and citizens and teams, although I put in bracket now Space Acceleration Network. Just realized we can probably update that. But yeah, pass it over to Pablo.
Yeah, I think the new branding is much better than citizens and teams.
Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, credit goes to Ryan for coming up with that name too. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I need to really update too much more on the Space Acceleration Network. We've been really focused on getting all the materials ready for launch. You know, polishing up the last few bugs with the app, and yeah, we're aiming for October 6th right now, but that date might change. So you know, look out on socials for the final deadline. And then on the MOONEY distribution front, you know, just compiling that report right now, and putting together essentially a proposal for voter incentives going forward. That's kind of the final outcome of the project there. So yeah, nothing too major to update on that front. Yeah, I'll pass it over to the next person.
well, that would be Colin and Jamon with the MoonDAO Analytics project.
Yeah, so recently Jamon's created a bar chart for governance power over time. So here I'll share my screen. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I think it's a good first pass. And then we're still working on adding the data to the table and contracts. So hopefully we'll have more metrics soon. And then other than that, just yeah, putting together the final report, and yeah, that's it.
Cool. So this is like total MOONEY baked over time?
Yeah, like just total V-MOONEY over time.
Nice.
We're missing Q3, but you can see it goes up to Q2 2024.
Cool. Very nice. All right. Well, I guess with that update then, that's the end of our roundtable. We can just go into open floor. I don't know if anyone up here on stage or anyone in the audience wants to raise their hand or post anything in the chat. Or we can get Phil up here. Phil?
Hey, lots of cool stuff going on. It's so awesome to see my LinkedIn full of Eiman, just freaking doing the world tour. Really excited about the accelerator program. My open for update is I've been doing a lot of off project work, basically priming the pump, filling the funnel, as it were. And yeah, I just wanted to share some of those experiences. The biggest one was at a workshop in the San Francisco Bay Area. Actually, it was Oakland, where the Foresight Institute invited a bunch of professionals from JPL, ASU, Blue Origin, Open Lunar, X Prize, a bunch of people from startups or the people that advise startups and scientists and everybody to talk about the future of space travel, particularly settlement of the moon. I took a bunch of notes. I'm not sure where to put them. So one action is to find a place to put them. But along the way, I advocated for MoonDAO. Basically, we are hyper relevant to every single aspect of lunar settlement, especially when it comes to governance, fairness and transparency, and just like getting over that hump of risk that seems to block a lot of progress. So things like DPRIZE, things like collaborations with astrobiology folks and chemistry DAO, some people that are actual analog astronauts, and people that run analog astronaut programs to participate in MoonDAO and get something running. And lastly, one output from the workshop was a small grant to a few of us individuals to make a not wargaming but peace gaming concept to play out the future of lunar settlement as it is today, and sort of like a role play style with real stakeholders, with the intent of doing either multiple in parallel, and study the output and see if there are any turning points that really shaped the way history went in this hypothetical future, so that we can understand it, nudge it in certain directions, and things like that. Lastly, also I got to talk to Chris Lewicki, and I pitched the D prize to him, which was fun. Chris is right now the guy running the Space Debris X Prize. He's the founder of Planetary Resources and worked at Consensus for a while, which bought Planetary Resources. So yeah, he seemed pretty psyched about it. And lastly, I think there's some real bones to MoonDAO testing flight hardware, or at least like participating in that early development, and also pre-flight development for parts and things. And I have a concept idea that I came up with Mahek Sarang from iSpace US, where I think like basically MoonDAO could be the PCB way of flight hardware testing. So a lot of these things are not projects, but I want them to be. So if any of those things sound interesting, let me know. And yeah, I'd love some help. Well, I still have the floor. IAC is in Milan, is in next week, I think, or the week after. I'm going to be there. A bunch of people from Open Lunar are going to be there. A bunch of people from the Foresight Institute are going to be there. And like a lot of my personal network wires are going to get crossed at IAC. So if you're there, hit me up. I'm going to be speaking on a panel. We're not speaking. I'll be moderating a panel with Open Lunar on the same stuff that MoonDAO talks about. So yeah, like I said, this is the perfect time to be launching Space Acceleration Network to be being in the public eye and to be getting excited about it. This is where the ideas that will change the world are starting and bubbling up, and we need to invest in those things so that regular humans can live on the moon. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. That's all I got. Yeah, and I've been working with Pablo on another side project related to like blockchain and moon stuff. It's not over yet, but once it is, we'll share the results. Uh, people locally and shares a bit about what we've been up to, and you know, I think Justin set a great example. So check out the video. It's cool. He organized an event out in DC to kind of share a bit about what we've been up to. So yeah, that's been awesome. I also see 3 Media in the audience, and they did an amazing video covering Dr. Eiman's flight, and you know, I think people should check that out. Yeah, they've been doing awesome work, just covering tons of different space flights. So, and then Jade has been. I've been working very closely with Jade here in San Francisco, and Jade's been preparing basically a full revamp and automation around our incentive system, and we're going to try to get to a kind of A/B test. So we'll run just a regular incentive system like we always have this quarter, but we're aiming to start to demo some of that that work in the next couple of weeks. So it's amazing progress that Jade's made just over the past maybe 3 weeks now, and being able to like put all of this together. So yeah, it's excited to get that out, because it is one of the biggest sort of operations hurdles that we have here at MoonDAO, and it's also a it's going to be a cornerstone of the D prize and bringing a bunch of that bunch of those operations on chain. So yeah, it's been a huge effort there, and yeah, just want to shout that out. Yeah, that's it for open floor stuff. Well, actually, no, sorry. Two more things. Not even one more thing. 2 more things. We met with someone who is the founder of a company called Voyage here in San Francisco, and what they do is they organize meaningful events for cultural exchange. And we've been talking now for a few weeks, and we kind of identified an opportunity where we could have some of the MoonDAO community organize an event out in China to honor the first winner of the Ticket to Space raffle that we did, the sweepstakes that we did, and give them some of the items that we flew in space of Yan's. His name was Yan Kajun, of his family, of his daughters that flew out there, and then also kind of deepen some of the roots with some of the other members of the Chinese community out in MoonDAO.
we think it could be a really impactful thing to go out there and meet with them in person and really kind of show them some love, because they've been huge supporters from the onset of MoonDAO. And and then another thing people should check out, which is a really interesting initiative that's in our governance forum right now, is Dr. Eiman met with a documentary filmmaker to potentially put together a kind of mini 5-part series about Dr. Eiman's flight and his life journey, and kind of shadowing him as he's going around and doing all these speaking opportunities. I think it's a really cool initiative, and it's a cool way to potentially revive this idea of a documentary that we were going to do about a year ago. And we can kind of pull in a lot of those learnings into this new initiative. So just want to put some eyeballs on that. There's been some good activity there in ideation. So yeah, that's it for my updates. Sorry, went longer than I thought.
No worries. Well, I don't see any other hands in the audience, so I guess we can wrap it up here.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
Cool. See you, everybody.
Welcome to MoonDAO, a revolutionary governance model and mission-oriented community that's reshaping collaboration in the space industry. Our mission is to create a self-sustaining, self-governing settlement on the Moon to act as a launch point into the cosmos. MoonDAO is governed like a nation, with its own economy, constitution, voting system, treasury, elections, and senate, but internet native, and so without the limitations of geography. In 2022, we sent our first member to space, showcasing our model's capacity for real-world impact. Now, we're implementing key solutions for global collaboration in the space industry. We offer a borderless, permissionless platform that enables everyday people to participate in the future of space development and exploration. Be part of our lunar legacy and join the MoonDAO movement today.